We're here. It's happening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to City of Gods, episode 8, and the finale for this season. Maybe, yeah, I'm not going to look in the future. This season finale of City of Gods. My name is Smoggles. I go by he, him pronouns. I am playing pretty much everyone in this world, be they mortal, be they gods, be they demigods, be they little centipedes, be they any creature or even plants. No one's talked to a plant yet, but I play those as well.
Excuse me. I've been spoken to plenty in this game.
True.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This revisionist history.
Anyway, I have been I've been playing most of these characters with the exception of 4 very distinct demigods turned mortals in our world. And with that, I am going to pass it off to Molly.
Hello. Yep, my name is Molly. I play Solio, who has he, him pronouns as opposed to my they, them pronouns. And he is the demigod of canals and like a little bit of death. And he's here to have a good time. And I think I pass it to Scarlet.
Hi, everyone. I'm Scarlet. My pronouns are she, her. The case in the corner of the room that I am playing is Shen, the demigod of the wake. Their pronouns are they, them. They are accompanied by Lang. They're also deceased tree husband. Tree husbandry. Whose pronouns are he, him. And I am ready for anything that might happen.
How heavy are those things that you just dropped?
What is it?
These are all of my dice, and I have not decided which ones I am using today.
Great.
Ooh.
The
You
arsenal.
should let chat decide. Or
Yeah,
not.
No.
Chad, please
No,
decide.
public
chaos.
either.
Jack,
Yeah.
I love you very, very much. That would take all game. Funny thing is, this is all also just one layer. This has 2 floors,
Thank
That's
you.
beautiful.
and I'm gonna pass it off to Dex.
Hello, Internet. My name is Dexter. My pronouns are he, they, but I play Zareb, who's using they. A lot of they. We going around today. Demigod of hidden crossroads, some other things that I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but forgotten milestones, unnoticed things. And is constantly with the homie, Serafina, who makes some good food. We vibe when we can. And passing it off to our dear friend, Elena.
Hello, I'm a dear friend and also a fox friend today. I'm Helena. I use they, she pronouns. I am playing Garu, who uses he, they pronouns. He is the demigod of wordplay. He likes to play with his word.
Amazing. And as has been mentioned in the episode title as well as earlier, this is our finale. It has been 8 episodes. It's been 7 wonderful episodes with an 8th on the way. And it has been with that, my recap is going to be a little more overarching than before, for anyone who's missed any of the episodes that have gone in, so we know, kind of what the stakes are here. So we started with these 4 as demigods in the city of the sky known as Kelenoth. They are basically performing their duties as demigods in order to prepare for the Ascension, as it is known. And the Ascension happens when all of the bonfire that is in Kelenoth in the center is lit up enough with embers of praise, which are mortals' show of gratitude towards demigods who assist them in their daily trials. And these 4 just happen to be, by apparent prophecy, the final 4 that are needed in order to trigger the Ascension. And so it does indeed happen. Chariots start to arrive to the city. Unfortunately, some sort of attack or magic of some sort destroys the chariots, and our demigods are now fighting for their lives against some creatures that seem to be invading the city. All of that ends with an explosion of the city and the demigods plummeting to the earth of Torrent. When they awake, they discover that they are in the jungles of Argoth, who is the god of war, and who is not very happy about these demigods landing in his territory. What we find
He's not
out
really
is
happy about anything. In
he's
fairness.
not happy about anything. That's true. What we find out is Garu Argoth has basically made Garu his mortal enemy, because they didn't realize this, but they are part of the reason why Argoth is now secluded in the jungle itself. However, our demigods waste no time trying to help the various tribes throughout the jungles, including trying to help the Razorback tribe find their lost demigod, and helping the Steelfoots find theirs and find the demigod Bartho, and are able to save him. They then learn of a path to get out of the jungle to the west side, after learning that Argoth is indeed aware of their presence and has given them an ultimatum, which is to leave in a certain amount of time or be hunted by all of the tribes as they try to get his favor. With that, they try to figure out a plan of escape of some sort. They go to the Bright Hand tribe, which is the orc tribe, led by Cantha, who is demigod of the hero. And with that, they learn of Cantha's complicated relationship between Kelenoth and her father. And with that, they prove themselves amongst the tribe itself and are allowed at the very least to be there in the meantime. But the morning and deadline of Argoth's ultimatum is fast approaching. And it will actually be the next morning that it occurs. So our demigods are a bit at a crossroads, but they are not the only ones. As Zerub finds out that Cafe Ephemeral seems to still exist in a form, even if it is very broken down and very falling apart. And who should their next customer be but Cantha herself? And with that, we will begin City of Gods Fury. All right. So, reminder of where we're at. Zerub, you are currently at a very kind of desolate version of Cafe Ephemeral. It's still, the general structure seems to still exist, but you're able to almost see where it lies as a demiplane itself, because you are seeing kind of a swirling void around which normally wouldn't be visible in this type of plane. And there is Cantha with an empty mug. This seems to be, well, it seems to remind you a little bit of the stories you hear about. This is where heroes sometimes get their start, of meeting in a tavern and finding a quest and going on said quest. And it seems almost like a stereotypical tavern in that way. Obviously a lot of bits and pieces are still, the fireplace is very overgrown, chairs are kind of broken, a lot of it is in disrepair. That's the word I was looking for before. And yeah, so you see Cantha there.
How visible is the layer of dust?
It's definitely, it definitely doesn't look like the counter has been wiped down in a little bit. Not that she seems to notice, but I can understand still feeling not okay
Yeah.
with that.
Mhm. Sure. No, it's this place has let itself go in my absence. Great. Customer, yes. How can I help you? I'll get behind the counter and start tidying as best I can.
I'm guessing this is what you do.
Usually with more hospitality and excellent customer service, but fall from grace. That tends to reduce the budget, it would seem.
It's understandable.
Does the water still run? Is the faucet still working? Serafina checks.
Roll for plumbing.
Roll for plumbing. Okay, a bit of mud comes through the faucet initially, but it looks like that was kind of like
Mhm.
cleaning itself out. So then you get like clear water coming through after a bit of sputtering and a little bit of fear.
Okay, you know what? Seraphine, if you could just stick to anything that is bottled, that would. Yep. What can I do for you? You seem to look how I feel, so better days.
Yeah. I guess so. I was kind of running I was storming out after, well, conversation with your colleagues, and all of a sudden I saw a door I hadn't seen before in this jungle, so I walked through it. Not exactly sure why.
Well, I'm not going to talk down to you. I'm just going to, I'd say level with you, but I feel like we're certainly past that point. This only shows up if you are at a crossroads of sorts. So perhaps weighing one decision against another when the trajectory of your life is going to be decided in a moment. Do you go left? Do you go right? Do you right? Do you wrong?
That
What are you
makes a
facing?
lot of sense. I
Just lean on the counter.
a whiskey, please.
Get the top shelf.
The top shelf is the type that you can like smell as you pour. You know this is probably a strong one. But
I will pour myself a double as well.
she takes a shot of it and goes,
First
"Oh,
time?
I forgot what the burn is like. I don't usually actually taste it that much." Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Zareb,
was a blend I
you're
came
also
up with.
feeling you're also feeling a little buzz because you're going, "Oh, right. Okay, this
Mortal
affects
body.
mortals."
Wow. Wow. That was originally developed to help a dignitary deal with the stress of their job. I see why I made it that strong.
Yep, that seems to make. Oh boy. Okay.
Ooh. What's got you in the dumps?
Your friends seem to know a lot more about me than I expected to give them. And it's a little it's thrown me off a little bit, and it's also thrown me off knowing that well, lots changed for all of us, and I'm trying to decide what to do based on my very ideal,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm always the one that was asked for advice. Never had to worry about looking for it myself.
Yeah, that's well, man fuck, honestly. You know,
Yeah.
when you are the one being strong for everybody else, you know, holding the entire weight of the world on your shoulders, who gives you the back rub? When do you get to stretch? When you put it all down, you know.
It's been I don't know how the world out there looks because well, I haven't been able to make it out in this mortal body, and I'm used to relying on my strength to help everyone else, and there's not a lot of that left anymore. So I'm not sure what I can do to help everyone if I don't actually have the power to do so.
Okay. Well, as these are your followers, would you consider them your community?
Um, what you mean like a village? I mean they are in that.
Well, I mean, that's in the literal sense, but do you feel kinship? I mean, what's your support network look like? When you need something, who do you go to? You know, you take care of these people, you look after them, you know, you listen to their problems, you do what you can to give them guidance and hope they go in whichever directions that they can find on their own. Community. But I've noticed that sometimes when we are taking care of our community, we forget that we are also a part of that. And as you're trying to save your community and with limited resources on your energy, sometimes saving yourself is the first step. Sometimes that's enough. What do you want to do?
Roll me a diplomacy, Zara.
Yeah, diplomacy. What is my diplomacy? I rolled. Ooh, that's a nat 20 for 31.
She thinks about it and she goes, I thought my community was going to be in Kelenoth. It's weird being in the community here. And it's also strange to have, let's be honest, it's strange to have people who represented the very group that I was angry against show themselves to be different from that. I want to help in some way of getting you all out of here. But it's very difficult when you're literally in the domain of the god of war.
Yeah, well, that does tend to put a damper on certain activities, extracurriculars, and all that. It's rare that we get the luxury of simplicity. You know, I'm sure it's easier to have complicated feelings go away if you can drown it in the broad strokes of this group hurt me and every one of them is bad. But it's harder to sit with the fact that everyone's going to be different and you have to treat them on an individual basis. You know, but believe me, there are some right unwashed butts up there, you know, but there are also plenty who will give you the time of day, who will, you know, take the time to listen to actually care, but sometimes they're hard to find. But sometimes the journey is its own reward. It'll be draining, it'll have its ups and downs, but what is heroism if not persistent in the face of adversity?
What do you think you're going to do once you get out of here?
After I find the bottom of this bottle, well, I would like to, if I could make a wish, I would wish to find out what happened to everyone who's outside of this jungle, all these people who we've been helping for centuries. You know, are they fine without us? Do they need us? Are we obsolete? Do we keep working? Are we still clocked in, or just let them go? I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. And I don't know how to not do this. Like, that's never been an option before. So, finding a way to, I guess, make sense of all this. For the longest time, I envied mortals their ability to forget, but now I can finally start forgetting some things, but I'm forgetting my purpose. I didn't want to lose that, so I just feel like the more I spin my wheels here, the less me there is. So I guess we both have to find our courage in whatever way that shows up.
Do I pay a tab or something?
No, it's on the house, or what's left of it. It's not usually this drafty, but, you know, it's a convertible.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Not just
Of
for
course.
this, but for being here.
well, happy to do what I can with whatever time I have.
And she gets up and walks towards the door, takes a deep breath, and then opens the door. And you, for a second, are worried, probably worried, don't want to assume. But you see like a swirling void in the center, and it looks like she might like fall off it, but she seems to like walk through and close the door without anything strangely supernatural happening.
Good. As I look around the space, how does the marble wall look? The wall of marbles.
Definitely has some cracks in it, has some vines reaching through. Not in a like invasive way, but in a like nothing's been here to stop us type of thing.
Have any of the marbles been damaged? Or are they still okay?
Still generally okay.
Okay. Ugh. Can't have me forgetting y'all. Still have work to do. Probably. Well, we can sweep later, I guess. And there's a moment where they just stop by the door and really considered not going through, just staying. And then Seraphina just kind of taps my right wing. I know. Just together. And she just kind of nudges me forward. And we return.
Great.
Turn the lights out on the way out. And flip the sign to closed.
So, Zareb, you're very used to this being something that usually takes milliseconds in a person's life. You're not sure maybe if this was just for you or for anyone else, but it was about like middle of the afternoon when you started talking, and the sun has almost set by the time you exit the cafe.
Nope. Yep. That. Of course. Yep. That's absolutely the best thing. Okay, Seraphina, honeys. Let's go find the others.
During that time, Solio, Garu, and Shen, I'm gonna leave it to all of you about what you, if obviously nothing has to have happened, but if there's anything you would have liked to have been doing in the intervening like time between mid-afternoon and sunset. Solio and Garu, you had just had a pretty tense conversation with Kantha that resulted in her excusing herself and leaving. Shen, you had been doing a little bit of party planning, so I just want to check in if any of you all wanted to talk about doing something. It's totally okay if you do not.
I think Shen would have been wanting to, like, with the little bits of party planning, trying to, I guess, crowdsource ideas, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So them and Lon would have been doing their damnedest to try to like weasel out little ideas of pretty much whatever they could from whoever would talk to them and give them the time of day. And potentially also figuring out what those people's ideas were on the way it's phrased is, if you were friends with the other tribes, just, you know, in theory, hypothetically, if you were friends with other tribes, what kinds of gifts would you give them?
Great. Go ahead and make me a diplomacy check to kind of gather information.
I have +10 diplomacy, and I did decide on dice. I'm using these things.
Sweet.
Noise.
I love dice envy.
Ready?
That is a 15.
I love Dice Envy.
Mhm.
There's no middle sliders on these dice.
Great. So you get you do get some information. You get that most of the parties usually involve for Bright Hands, it's usually their favorite parties. It generally, when you talk to people, is either like sporting events, and this is not so much like melee battle to the death, but sometimes also kind of their form of the Olympics of some spear throwing, some high jumps, stuff like that. They enjoy that type of thing. The other one is kind of like long table drinks and feasts of the epic beasts that they just hunted. Now, where you run into problems is some of the gifts they mention are much more sarcastic in nature. So it's like, oh yeah, I would give the Steelfoot some buckets of water to put right into their circuitry, and they like high five each other. The Knolls, they describe exactly the trap that you all encountered, only with the Bloodfangs actually being in the center of the trap and being on the receiving end of those stakes. So that's kind of where you get on that front. So they have their own party stuff, but their gifts are not exactly great for the other tribes.
I think Shen kind of takes all of that and does manage to sort of throw some ideas together. So after all that, Shen and Lon are going to go find like a nice sitting spot. And
Okay.
I fortunately have a waterproof journal. I don't know why I took that at the beginning of this game, but I did. I did use the gold to get a waterproof journal.
Like you do.
Like you do. Actually, no, I remember. It's because this was the party planning journal. And considering my job, I don't want it spilled and ruined by alcohol. I did have a reason. I just forgot about it.
Oh
Really
boy. That's it. Yeah, or tearful diary entries. Yeah, you don't want to have to that's also being very aware of where you get your best ideas, which I appreciate.
Yeah. So Shen is gonna sit down with Lon and their wineskin, and they're gonna start drafting up stuff, like literally like making a big sketch of what they want this party to start looking like.
Great.
And the gist of it, right now, the working idea is that the party itself is it's still in the making. But what Shen is envisioning is almost like the fun part of the party is the race to get to the party.
Uh-huh.
Like an obstacle course, skill course, combat moments of no, all the feast, the drinks, the food, that's at the top. That is like, to use Hunger Games for a second, that is the top of the cornucopia. To get on top of that, however, you have to go through this whole fucking thing. Because that kind of challenge seems to be what everyone agrees on.
Mm-hmm.
So like traps and moments that are like geared towards each one's strengths and weaknesses, and each group kind of brings it's like a slight potluck. Like they all bring some of their own, like what they love. It goes on the offering table, and of course, everybody's gonna get there at the end of the day. It's just who gets there first, who gets the best seats at the table,
Right.
Who gets to buy what they love.
That sense of competition that's been seen throughout this jungle.
Yeah. So taking what they already do, and instead of trying to change their tradition to be, hey, we're playing Go Fish, it's no, like, we're gonna do everything you already love, but we're gonna do it with the idea of getting to the top, getting bragging rights, eating a bunch of food, getting drunk, passing out, doing it again next year, or next month, or next week, whatever, however often these things happen.
Amazing. Okay. So while you're doing that planning, Solio and Garu, is there anything you would all like to do in this intervening time?
I think right after Cantha like storms out of the tent, Garu will turn to Solio being like, does she not want to be here?
I think Solio says, I don't know, bro. And Solio walks out of the tent. It's a rare day that Solio doesn't want to talk, but Solio doesn't want to talk. Sorry for not yes-anding.
No, you're good. You're good. Garu will kind of like to himself just take a moment and maybe, grab part of the food that he was eating with Malik before Cantha stormed in, and just takes it with him to go, and exits the tent to just kind of try to find everyone and gather together to try to figure out what makes sense here. Maybe on the way he hums a little song to himself about the feeling of being trapped and what that does. And the chorus ends with him being like, but to fly above, away from all, that is what we crave. And I think that's like the end of it. To fly above, yeah, that is what we crave.
I absolutely forgot that you got cockblocked last session.
Yeah, it's okay.
Not necessarily. It happened after.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the implication, was that it happened afterwards.
Oh, I thought I just went over to give a massage and we were having lunch and Cantha stormed in.
Oh.
I see.
I also thought.
Sorry.
Right.
We can also retcon if you're not comfortable with that.
No, I'm
concept.
very comfortable
Okay.
with that. Yeah, Garu will just like leave a note for Malik in the tent being like, our time together was splendid indeed. Your charisma brings me to my knees, or something rather lewd.
Amazing. So fantastic.
And I think Solio just, I think he finds his brother, and they just like, his brother knows him well enough to not like, they just are like together and they're like sharpening their weapons and stuff, but it's quiet. And I think they're somewhere up high. I think he wants to keep an eye out for Cantha, but also just out in general.
Yeah.
And he's just thinking.
Great. Okay, so Garu, it does take you a little bit of time to find the rest of your cohorts. They are surprisingly it's one of those things where when they don't want to be found, they will not be found. Shen, eventually you find with Lon in a very quiet and more isolated area, writing stuff down in a journal. You do eventually find Solio, who is up on one of the it's one of the few buildings in this that was built by like someone who probably would have been an architect if they weren't a warrior, and like it's actually 2 stories with a balcony, and Solio is on the roof there, kind of looking over. You cannot for the life of you find Zareb until like it's getting to sunset and Zareb just kind of walks into the village. Let's see if I would. Can you just roll me a perception check? Just want to check something.
That's a nat 2 for a 10.
great. Yeah, you're just not sure where they could have
Yeah.
been coming from, because as far as you were aware, there was really nothing of value on that end of the outside the village here. But eventually you are able to gather your group around, and you have a little section that you all can be in to talk privately. Everyone has generally been told to, as especially now that you're part of the tribe, you can't like, no one's gonna be like eavesdropping on you, so you can comfortably feel like you're gonna be able to talk amongst yourselves.
So, what do we do? Cantha stormed out of the tent earlier, and I haven't seen her at all, and, well, time is passing.
Quicker every moment, it seems.
It does do that when you're mortal. I promise you get used to it after more than a few days.
I'll take your word for it.
It takes
I did see Cantha. Apparently, my cafe can still show up for people
Hey.
sometimes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Mhm.
Because our domains work similarly, but you were able to go to your cafe.
Yeah, it took a whole hell of a lot longer getting back than I had anticipated. But yeah, it's frankly fallen apart. Not up to code at all. It's a disgrace right now, currently, but it did show up.
That's huge.
This could be useful, actually.
Do you have any idea what did someone need you?
Cantha, actually, though, confidentiality can only say so much.
Oh, yeah, no,
Wait, our powers work on each other?
I'm mortal, Cantha's mortal, kind of, where are we, really? I don't know.
I guess, like, mine specifically wouldn't work because up until now, but this is weird. I like it. In our case, for my case, this is good weird, because I'm gonna let you do your thing first, but I'm sorry, I'm percolating. I have ideas. I know that look. I understand. Whenever I say I have ideas and you all give me that look, I understand. And Shen looks at Lon, especially this one.
Lon's just like,
yeah. It's just I good ideas. I promise this time, good ideas. Carry on.
Well, I mean, what are we doing, as you said, Garu?
Oh, mine was a question, and
oh, yeah.
I don't know. And I mean, I for one could use an idea about now. An idea would be very serendipitous.
Well then, I'm done percolating. If anyone's curious.
Go ahead.
All right. This is going to require a little bit of divine fuckery, and I don't mean divine like divine. I mean like lowercase d, like us. I have a bit of our powers, theoretically, our domain, for you and I, Zara, this is unprecedented. We shouldn't, as far as like overarching laws of the way our powers work, we shouldn't be able to use them on each other. It makes me wonder what other rules are broken right now. What other frayed threads there might be I'll be totally honest with you. Up until about 30 seconds ago, I didn't know how we were going to try and, at least for my whole throwing a party idea, I didn't know how we were going to make that happen.
Mm.
But now I do. The trick is going to be tricking our domain. I can get everything I need from my festival hall. We can get everything we need for accommodations from your tavern, from your cafe. But we actually need to get them somewhere tangible and take what we can. You said it looked like your place was in disarray?
Yeah, very much falling apart. The void was a lot more visible than it normally is. Structurally unsound, I would label it.
What about the state of the food, the drinks?
There was definitely some dubious food there, but stuff in bottles was still fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is if the well-being of the location of the domain is directly linked to how much power we have access to. We get a little bit more, just a little bit, and we somehow use these frayed threads of energy to summon our domains, to take what we need from them, and we can use those materials to create something that this forest has never seen before. And they kind of fumble with their notebook and pull up the conveniently mostly off camera, even though everyone else can see it, but like it's being held up kind of like this to the people. The audience see the schematics, but everyone else can. So that we can do this. This could work. I think I figured out how to have a party that would piss Ardoth off, first off, but actually do something for every tribe here. Something that they would love and enjoy and get something out of without destroying or changing their culture, without throwing them into unknown waters, just changing the goal a little bit. But the trick is that we need to do something that's never been done before. And we have to utilize broken divine magical rules to do it. If you were able to get to your cafe, not just at all, but with another demigod, I think this can work. Of course, it doesn't fucked, but
yeah.
You know, I thought I'd put that out there as an alternative of we might not be fucked. I would personally not like to be fucked that way.
Yeah. Can I still feel a connection to the cafe at all?
Hold on while I go into my knowledge base that I'm just thinking of, that I'm using right now. Knowledge. So
Knowledge.
Roll me
kind of looks like Sherlock Holmes, like the Robert Downey Jr. one specifically.
Yeah.
Roll me an Arcana check, Zareb.
That is a 23.
Yeah, you are not feeling the current you're not currently feeling anything right now. You do feel a little warmth from your item, which does kind of give you faint tingling of hope, but like you don't feel like you can just summon a door and get in right now. I mean, it was genuinely surprising when it happened to you the first time. So yeah, that's where you're at right now.
Okay. Well, generally, it can show up if I call it. I'm not feeling the magic in that sense right now. Or it shows up when someone is at a crossroads and is in need of my assistance. So,
Now, see, the fun thing about this is we have to figure out what qualifies as a crossroads by current definitions.
mhm.
We have to figure out if we can get it to show up at all, because the fact that it's shown up once after everything with Kalanov honestly surprises me.
Mhm.
So my hope is that it happened once by accident. We can
Mhm.
make it happen again on purpose, and then help me do it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it is certainly more direction than I can think of at the moment. So, at this point, whatever we do, we got to do it because sun's setting.
Zareb, I'm gonna give you one more thing for your 23 Arcana.
Mhm.
Just remember what you were doing before the doors showed up.
Well, now that I think about it, I was praying, asking for help at the moment for guidance, which is weird.
Who are you praying to?
My dad, some guidance, given how he perceives time.
Right.
But on the other hand, if, as Shen says, there are loose threads right now, I think knowing Kantha was there, we thought Kantha brought it about. But if you yourself were acknowledging a crossroads in your life and perhaps felt lost enough to pray, did you,
Oh, that's
you
interesting.
know? And then Celio like remembers that his brother is there with him. He's like, I mean, did you like, did you trigger it, bro?
Definitely clocking that lingo switch. Just kind of smiling at that. I mean, I've never tried summoning it that way before, but I guess that still calling for it.
It-
So I
Would you be
suppose it's
willing
just
to
a
try it
different way
again?
of doing it.
Sure.
Multiple doors to your cafe.
Ooh, multiple franchise it.
Well, this was one of the places that we couldn't get a
Franchising, bro.
franchise before, but yeah. All right. Well, y'all turn around. I can't do it if you're looking.
Oh, we can find a spot for you, and it,
Sure.
if you would like.
I get prayer shy.
Yeah.
For sure.
I won't say no.
Yeah.
Oh. Solio looks at his brother. Can you remind me of this man's name?
Oh, Sharn.
Sharn.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can only say his brother so much before I felt like it was.
Yeah.
No, before you have to go, you have to like find someone to introduce him to. Be like, this is my brother.
Him will say.
Take him to Starbucks.
Truly.
Unfortunately, he always gives a joke name.
No.
No, he does.
Yeah.
He looks at Sharn and he says, "Bro, you know what this means?" And I think it's up to you, Sam. Either he has no idea, or they're on the same page. It's staring contest time.
Great. Here we go. We're gonna find out how much of a himbo this boy is.
Yes.
Is it
But are they on the same himbo wavelength? Is the
Yeah.
question.
Use your
which part of
Kenergy.
the himbo stratosphere does he live in?
They're both just Ken.
You're
You
just kidding.
so Leo, you look at Sharn, and Sharn has been nodding in agreement with everything that has been going on, but has not understood a word of what has been said.
So good.
This is way above his pay grade.
Thank
and
you.
he
We
just
are
goes,
both enough.
he just goes, I think you got it, bro.
Daring contest. Not we have to say 1, 2, 3. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
We move a little bit farther away from there.
Amazing.
Oh, all right. 1, 2, 3. Roll me a fortitude save.
Oh, I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll it like my little life depends on it. Okay. Well, no. All right. It's 15.
Sorry. Smuggles is here to ask. What? Why the staring contest?
So we are both sure we're himbo logic. So we're both sure we're not looking at Zerub.
Oh, yes. Great.
Yeah.
Got it. Makes total sense.
Your
So
ass
he,
it does.
so he like the two of you stare at each other for a while. But unfortunately for you, Solio, you're staring like right directly at the sunset. So you do blink first.
Rookie mistake. I also had canon. I built this out so quickly in my head. I did start with this. And I had this one also just in case in the fridge. And now
Yes.
it's starting to like, here I am. For the important part, you know. I think they usually do these underwater.
Yeah, that's also
Mm,
probably a thing. You're
This
not
is
used to the
extra fun.
drying of the eyes, literally.
Yeah.
Like it usually goes on for hours.
People come and it's like buskers in Washington Square Park. It's like you stop for a while and then you go away.
Mhm.
They're like, okay.
It's
Wow.
showtime.
Great. So the rest of you turn away. Zareb, what do you do?
I will find a comfy little place and I'll take a seat. I'll sit crisscross and I'll try praying again. Yeah. Weird to do this twice in a day, but
Zareb, roll me a perception check.
yeah. Can I roll to perceive? What do I perceive? Where is my roller? There we go. Oh, that's a 10.
Okay. So you find a spot to sit, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask what you say.
Okay. So I've done this once before. I am recreating this process. Sincerity. Can you show up, please? You know, I'm kind of stuck here, and I would like to not be stuck. You desperately need to be cleaned. So, show up, please. Also, hi, Dad. In case. Oh, yeah. If you're there, can you just let me in? What is happening? You know, did I leave the keys? What's going on? He's lost the plot very much. He's just kind of rambling.
Roll me.
Can I help by also feeling lost? That's something. Can we just add? Can I add to the pot?
Okay.
Or should I have said that before?
Early.
Can I help by also just being lost? I swear I'm already there.
Does it help if I just kind of cry in the corner or look really pathetic?
I'm gonna say you look very lost, but it's not quite the lost that we're going for here. But I appreciate the idea. Religion check, Zareb.
Okay. I roll, and the roll is a 17.
Okay. It doesn't really, I mean, it's kind of hard to it's one of those things of like trying to actually do something on purpose versus letting it happen. And it is, you know, the very fact that you are trying to kind of make it occur and trying to be like, please let me in, blah blah blah. The moment that you do like talk about your father a couple of times, you do see a like kind of maybe a faint outline from a door, but it looks kind of like the trick of the light. But in the end, it just does not feel like you have that place. It's almost like it's like reading the inauthenticity of it in a way.
You know, I feel like maybe it's a once per short rest or a long rest kind of deal. Nose starts bleeding.
No,
You got too meta. There's like
Truly.
oh no.
They did not know that this was a Netflix property now.
Can you hear that Russian?
I do. There are giant people in the sky. They're rolling rocks. Why are they talking to people that aren't there?
Are they great big terrible giants?
In the sky.
Thank you to our musical theater audience. Nice.
It's very niche.
All right.
Everyone knows Into the Woods.
So Zareb, that's what occurs for you.
I wasn't able to make the door show up. Maybe
That's
tomorrow. You know.
That's true. If there's any part of this plan, I also really want to imagine that when I say this plan, the book with Shen's plan in it is held up again off camera.
Yep.
I mean, the food that's like we have time for that, right? Like
We do.
we don't need that right now. Maybe, you know, we'll try again tomorrow. Maybe we'll all pray. I guess. Oh my god.
Yeah, I
I've
mean, if
never
y'all
prayed.
can tap into your domains, that'd be fantastic. You know.
Garu,
We
were you
would
gonna
need
say
to
something?
find it.
Well, I got the impression that Cantha may feel trapped, that she may want out of this kind of situation, and maybe she has an idea. I don't know. I don't know what she talked to you about, Zareb, and I don't care to know, but I am curious. Because she knows this place better than we do. It would be nice to have an insider among us.
At the moment
Hard to ask.
the moment you say that, Garu, Grok, the shaman, just kind of appears next to you all, and just goes, "Well, looks like I have the perfect time then."
Sorry, what?
Everything
There's a hut of mine. Cantha's over there. It's actually a nice walk, a nice isolated area from the village, but you go about 2 miles south, directly in that direction, you'll be able to find her. Would you be able to give her this note once you get there? Make sure it's not open until you get to the hut.
Lon is going to just grab the note, look at Shen, and just tuck it in his shirt.
Thank you. I want to make sure she gets it, sooner rather than later. So there are plenty of beds there if you're able to make it in nightfall.
Well,
We
20
appreciate
minutes or
that.
less.
can I ask Croc? I mean no disrespect. I understand this is important. What? Just what? I feel like I'm missing some content.
Oh, sorry. I just didn't want to. I have slightly older bones, so I didn't want to have to make the travel myself. But I've been thinking about what has been occurring recently, and I thought instead of trying to figure out how to say my words to her, a letter probably would be best way to go.
Letters
know I'm
are a
the-
great medium.
Yes, I know I'm not a great wordsmith. I probably should have gotten some assistance, but I hope that it works well.
Thank you. Yay. Yay, bro.
And does
I
she
pat him
know
on the
that we
shoulder.
are? Does Cantha know that we are on the way?
I guess so. Well, she did say not to be disturbed by any of her followers, and I'm guessing you're not that, so loophole.
Not yet.
On the bright side, I do my best work when I'm interrupting people when they don't want to be interrupted. These three can attest.
It's true.
Very true.
It's a skill.
All right. So let's power walk at the very
Yep.
least. Thank you so much, Grok. Grok.
Grok.
Appreciate it, Grok.
Just stealthy as can be.
Great. Yeah, roll me a stealth check to sneak out.
All of us?
Do we have to?
I was just
Oh
saying
yeah,
that Gronk
Sharn
is
should
stealthy,
also
but yeah.
Sharn should also roll.
Can I roll? Hear me out. Acrobatics.
Are
I
you
mean,
running?
acrobatics isn't exactly stealthy.
What if I'm parkouring around the buildings?
That everyone would
Nice.
see you parkouring around buildings.
Damn it.
Can I, because I'm Goran, which is a tree person, and we are in a jungle, may I make a performance check instead?
Your best Birch performance.
Everyone roll me stealth. I need less trying.
9
9. Great.
with the +7.
Oh, fantastic. I got a 17.
Great.
Got an
That's a
11.
I just
10. A 10
What?
with
Sorry.
a +8.
Great. Shen.
I got an 11 plus 0, so 11.
Did I do
Great.
the best?
Yeah, it's Solia, you did do the best.
Yeah.
And
I don't
so
love it.
to be clear, what happens is all of you try to sneak. Solio, you actually get through, and the rest of you like kind of stumble, like think you get out of sight of someone, but the biggest thing that happens is that you notice no one really cares as they both see you and like wave as you're trying to sneak out. And
buddy.
Okay.
and the best part is you see Sharn going, Stealthy, stealthy, we're being stealthy. We're being so stealthy. Da ba do hoo, hiding here. Yeah, boom ba da da. He
know
rolled
that
a
we
nat
don't-
one
that-
on
Oh
his
my
side.
gosh.
You
Wow.
know, I'm gonna say this to Solio in a very clearly joking tone. You know, we're never gonna know if we're really mortal unless one of us dies and then just given thorn out. I can take care of that. I can test this.
You know what? That's fascinating. I am. Gosh, I wish I could do wit with you right now, bro. I don't have. So it's not. Maybe later we can wit. I'm sorry.
Just-
Great.
Gentle head pat on Solio. It's okay.
Solio appreciates the head pat.
I imagine Solio is actually taller than Shen.
Yeah, probably.
Reach up.
Use vine
that's
whip.
a spit stain. Absolutely not. So you all get to the as you travel through the jungles, it does become eventually well, it was already getting towards dusk and getting dark, but with the jungle covering especially, it does end up getting even more dark, even darker. Sorry, I was changing music while I was trying to speak, and that just wasn't the way to go about that.
I will turn my halo off.
You arrive at
Here's
the
your
hut.
little pull string.
Yep.
You arrive at the hut.
Clap.
The hut has lights within. There is a singular door to it and a singular window. You're guessing there might be a fireplace or something because it is going. There's smoke coming out, and it looks like someone is indeed inside. There are also 2 torches that are lit on stands in front, just about 5 feet away from the entrance, to kind of light the way there.
Aw.
What do you all do?
Can I ask a quick question, actually?
Yeah.
Did we establish that in the chat, if someone redeems inspiration for something you did, that it's a hero point?
Hero point. Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, did I miss it? Oh, there we go.
I thought so, but then I was like, don't just take it if you're not sure. That's not fair.
It is a hero point.
Yay. I used all of mine last time. Oh, God, I feel much better.
Now that I have it. Okay.
Can Garu go ahead and try to get a look in the window to like double check that this is Cantha and not some sort of weird setup?
Great. Yeah, go ahead and look inside. Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Using a different dice this time. That's way better. That's a 25.
Okay.
You look inside. It's a pretty simple looking room. There doesn't look to be a lot there. There's a bed, as well as it looks like some sleeping rolls underneath. There is a statue to Cantha, about medium size, as well as various offerings that seem to be in front of that statue. There are a variety of there's a variety of weaponry kind of displayed about, and there is also a little cooking fire in the center with a pot in there as well, and then various other places for storage. What there is not, however, is a Cantha.
Great. Garu is gonna like sneak back to the group and say, so it's a lovely hut, but Cantha's not in there.
Can I do a would that be a perception check to like sense around the hut and around the outside of where we are to see if
I'm gonna say, what are you trying to see? Like if anyone was there, type of thing.
I think Solio would be specifically trying to see if Cantha is like nearby somewhere.
Oh, okay. So you're scouting if Cantha is like in the
Yes.
vicinity outside. Yeah, go ahead and roll me perception for that.
I'm not going to use this online roller anymore. Frankly, I knew better and I did it anyway. That's a 13.
Okay, you also do not see Cantha anywhere in this general section.
Did we maybe get here ahead of her? Or are we feeling like this is a trap?
This might we really should have checked this first, shouldn't we?
I'm just going to do detect magic, just see if I see anything in the vicinity. Just keep that up.
Great. You're getting vibes from the statue, but not really anything else.
Okay.
Oh wait, what does detect magic do again?
It just lets me know if there's magic nearby. It doesn't give me any information about it.
Okay.
I just love that question to someone with zero context in TTRPGs. It's like, what does a nail gun do? It guns the nail. What does a flamethrower do? It throws the flame. What does detect magic do? It makes hot dogs.
Yeah.
Helps you with your taxes.
Great. Okay. I mean, the rest of your party is pretty magical too, so that's the only.
I was gonna tune them out. Wow, y'all are bright. The statue's kind of got a little bit of magic going on, but not really sure. It's not attacking me, but maybe it would if I got closer. I don't know. How paranoid do we feel today? Actually, don't. Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I say. Don't do that.
Can I check the door for traps to see if it's like if we can at least go inside and look around?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me for perception for that.
Okay. Such a nervous boyo Garu is. That's a nat 20. 28.
You examine this door from every single possible angle. It does not look like it has any traps whatsoever on it.
No traps, but a beautiful piece of mahogany. Truly the best that nature could give. I'm going to open it.
That sounds like a good call.
Great. You open it. It is open. You now can enter the hut.
Hello?
Hello? Who there?
Can we tell how recently someone was in here? I mean, I know all the lights,
I mean, if there's a fire going, clearly someone has recently been here. The embers are relatively low. Like, it was definitely today, but it's kind of hard to tell what the actual time was.
Is anyone else just dying to know what's in that letter? If we hold it up to the fire, perhaps we can see inside what it says?
I kind of don't want to get caught going through someone's mail.
It's a federal.
That's fair.
I'm fairly certain I committed at least one war crime. I don't mind personally.
If you just hold it up, we don't even open it. Maybe a singular word or a context clue could tell us what's going on here.
Oh, I have an idea. I am going to. I'm gonna just. Shen is gonna go for the letter. Lon is going to very pointedly keep it away. Lon will take it out, grab like a nearby like chip of wood or rock or something, I'm gonna cast light on it. And then I'm just gonna hold it like underneath the letter and then show it to Shen. Rather than giving the letter to Shen. And then realize that Shen is still trying to take the letter, and then Lon is gonna move over towards Garrow and do the exact same thing.
We were supposed to meet her here, right? I'm not imagining that, right? She was here. She's supposed to be here. Was that the idea, or were we
That's
just
how I
coming
understood it.
If the letter explodes, Smuggled, I swear to God.
So you get various words. It's kind of hard because clearly you can see from the light that it's a letter that's folded in on itself. So you're getting bits and pieces of words because it's all kind of tangled together. What you get is you get the words important, get the word father, get the word mortal, outside, and demigod.
Well, that doesn't tell us anything that we don't already know.
But the word outside gives me hope. But maybe
If he
there-
leaves this place, is he like powerless?
I have no idea. I feel as if this forest was created for him as a prison of sorts to keep him contained. So outside of that prison, he would be more powerful. But that's only my limited perspective.
See, the thing that gets me is they took the God of War and said, hey, let's put you in a forest. And he didn't say, cool. He said, screw you. And they said, no, screw you. And then they put him in the forest anyway. He's a God of War. Like, realistically speaking, I think you're right. This has got to be a prison of some sort, because otherwise, you would have put up a fight getting out.
Right.
Literally. I mean, like, the world, like, correct me if I'm wrong, his whole thing was war all the time. War is good. Battle everywhere. Yeah. Like,
See, that's hard because I do love a chant.
Yeah, no, a lot can be said with the chant. Just the rhythm of it.
You just hear Sharn going, war is good, battle all
Darn,
the time.
darn,
Yeah,
Yeah,
darn,
yeah.
no, darn, bad one.
Oh, sorry.
And Lon just looks at him and just kind of very gently just whaps the back of his head. Not like hard enough to hurt,
Garu.
but like rustle his hair.
Garu will go up and just go, peace is good. We should go fetch some wood. Never mind.
You already did that, Garu.
No,
And then while
peace
we're
is
also
good.
doing this, I think
Yep.
Solio is just kind of like, what do my boots, what do my fun magic boots do? I don't know if they'll.
Ooh.
Are they made for walking?
City of Gods.
Or...
And that's what they'll
Hey,
do.
for flipping.
They're for
Uh,
flipping. Do a backflip.
Do a backflip.
Oh, freedom of movement is their special thing. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I think he's just, I think he enjoys like mystery novels when he's not in the water. If that's like one thing he indulges in above water that like he can't do in water.
Interesting.
So I think he's like, sometimes a floorboard is loose or something. And is like, is there like a basement or cellar that they're not sensing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, go ahead and roll me.
Probably just a hut.
Let's go roll survival because it feels like something survival mechanic.
Ooh,
you would
okay.
learn.
Nope. Nope. It's an 8.
You're just stomping around. The most you get is that some of whatever whatever soup is in the pot shakes a little bit and seeps out.
Not the pot soup,
whatever.
no!
Not the pot soup.
No.
What have you done?
How much soup is in there?
I mean, there's enough that you see that there are 5 bowls laid out and like ready. It's like looks ready for a meal.
Can't the okay, Solio sees that and like points and is like, did she think we were coming? Did she put these bowls out for us? We gotta find Cantha.
It would be nice.
I think Solio, he's like, I'm gonna check the perimeter one more time. How does everybody feel about that?
That sounds fine by me.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't go too far, buddy system.
Cool. I think Sharn come with me?
Yeah, Sharn can come with you.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know. Can Sharn come with you? It's like, oh, that's me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's a no. Okay. Bye.
All right. While Solio's doing that, does anyone else have anything they want to do?
I do have a question. The statue, that is a statue of our dear missing friend, yeah?
That is definitely a statue of her. Has every
It's not like
defining feature.
frozen in agony or anything.
No,
like-
it is in a very,
Okay, cool.
very heroic, like shield up, sword at the ready. Very stoic face and a very determined face, looking at what's ahead.
Okay. I get the sense that you are magical, so in case you're like a home service or security kind of deal for friendlies, we're looking for your likeness, namesake. So, it's all good, as you were.
And Garu will place
Copy the
a
post.
piece of a sandwich that he took from the thing at the foot with the other offerings to see if that helps at all. Or at least gives him a special tingle of deification.
Yeah, roll me a religion check.
Okay. Me or Zareb?
Garu.
Or both? Okay.
Because Zareb, you were kind of just making sure
was
that it's
talking
like,
to it.
please don't. Garu,
Yeah,
you
like,
actually
don't come
made
to
an
life and
offering.
attack us.
Yeah.
Hey, bud.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, cool.
It's the dirty little 20.
Shen, you notice that the letter begins to glow after Garu makes that offer.
Oh, hey, everyone, letter. You've got mail.
Oh, I'm not there.
Oh, like
Solio,
if
it takes a
the-
very short time, but you don't find Cantha. Just to speed that up and
Oh,
bring
like
you
the
in.
Mac. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Are you like saying give the mail to the statue?
We could try. Might as
Hey,
well.
I don't have any better ideas.
It's a point and click adventure.
Yeah.
Mail.
Now, when does
On
the
the
cursor
back.
become a fingy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can we give the letter to the statue and see if that does anything?
I can't unsee the point and click adventure now.
I'm just gonna press it, just like walk up to the statue. What pose is the statue standing in? You say?
It is a like shield up, sword at the ready. Shen, roll me a religion check.
Keep posing.
I'm good at those. I'm good at those. 21.
Ooh.
It's the way that she is positioned does not look like she is in attacking position. You could almost imagine that the shield is up and the sword is not in a I'm about to swing. It is as if you could imagine someone behind her and she is trying to push them back so that she is the primary target.
Is she like battle cry kind of screaming? Like,
Nope, just determined. Mouth closed, brow furrowed, looking directly at something else.
I'm gonna put the letter on her head and then turn to look and see where the statue's eyes are going.
Yes, agree.
They are let's check something. What had you rolled again for religion, Shen?
21.
Looks like a blank wall.
Look back at the statue, look back at the wall. I'm going to then move behind, kind of where it looks like she's shoving someone out of the way, and be the person that is being shoved out of the way.
When you look back, the letter's been opened.
Just on her head, just open.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of spooky.
Just sitting on one of the chairs, like.
Did anyone see the letter open?
I was looking at the bread bowl by the soup.
I
No.
was also looking at the wall.
Well, since it's opened, do you think it's okay if we...
Is there a ghost in here? Or is there something invisible in here?
Ghosts aren't real.
Give us a sign if you are here with us.
Nothing happens.
I look at Shen. I look at Lon. I look back at Shen.
Ghosts.
Okay.
Ghosts aren't real.
Solio sees you doing that and is like, well, then we have to talk about like what defines ghost.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna put it this way. I ain't afraid
Fair.
of ghosts.
Yep.
You know what's so funny? I didn't hear that.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts, was what was
Okay,
said.
good. I thought it was something dirty. Is this Panera Bread?
Is this Panera Bread haunted?
Oh no.
Cox
They make
pistol.
the
Panera's
bread
haunted.
rise.
What? Panera's haunted.
Oh no.
I think about what we did to make the letter. Okay, Solio's gonna. Okay, maybe this is me talking. Maybe Cantha is hiding because she's shy about having friends.
Uh-huh.
Aww.
So Solio says, Cantha, if you're not, like trapped or whatever, you can come out and stuff and we could have soup and stuff. It looks like nice soup. Did you make it? Starting to feel like phasmophobia.
Turn
Starting
on
to
all the
like
lights. Make sure.
Dumbass box.
Really?
Nobody go in the basement. I know I don't have to tell Sarah that, but for the other
Mhm.
if you hear a sound,
Don't do it.
go in the basement.
Do not.
But what if the power
hear
goes
a
out
sound,
and
no,
that's
you
where the
didn't.
breaker is?
Yeah.
We are not dying first.
If the power goes out, I'm turning my halo back on.
that's right.
I'm staying up here with these two, and I'm pointing at Seraphina and Lon.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you
Garu,
can
it
take the
seems
ghost.
like you have something you want to say.
So just to
Garu,
clarify, my thing didn't work.
Yeah, very much
That was
so.
nothing. Okay, great. Fantastic.
can Garu take a look at the blank wall and run his hand along it and see if there's anything in the wall that would indicate a place to go?
No, not that you're aware of.
Okay.
Shen is gonna read the letter just because it's open.
Okay. Shen,
The gun.
if you would
The
like
Chekhov
to,
has been there. I am doing it.
Shen, if you would like to read it out loud, I put the, in our main City of Gods channel, I just put the letter up, so you can read it out loud if you would like.
In the Discord or
The City of Gods Discord.
I'll find it. I promise.
Great.
I'm not good at Discord. I'm so sorry.
Just don't click leave call,
Mhm.
and we'll be good.
Tell me what to do, Dad.
I love that Grok's name is spelled like Croc. Makes me
Mhm.
happy.
Went into
Do you want me?
stealth
I can
mode.
send it to you directly, Scarlet, in our chat here.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Okay.
All right, it's in our call
I'm not-
chat.
I'm not sure what he's talking.
I can read it.
That I know
if-
to find. No,
You go-
I'm the one reading the letter.
Yes.
I apologize if Grok misled you in any way to get you out of the village. Fuck. They knew how important it was for you to be far gone before reading this, as time was of the essence. I'm calling my father to the village. Fuck. I'll try to convince him with words first to leave you be and to focus on finding our siblings and repairing our family. If he refuses, I'm prepared to do everything in my power to stop him from finding you. The other tribe people might join me, but that's their choice. I'll not ask it. At the very least, I will buy you time to escape. When I was mortal, oh hey, I didn't realize she was like me. My family and I were refugees on the run. When a monster tried to kill us, I knew if I didn't try to stop it, my entire family wouldn't survive. Argoth brought me here because he saw my willingness to fight for the unprotected, even in unspeakable odds. In my anger at Kalanoth, I had lost my meaning until I saw you. The lengths you go to help others, even your mortal forms, reminded me of what being a hero is. Your talents and your passions would be wasted here. I hope you find what you need in the outside world. Thank you for helping me and my family. Here's my bracelet. It helped me during my time as a demigod, though its power has waned considerably. Keep it in case we ever see each other again. And I'm gonna, I guess, take the bracelet out of the letter. That bitch.
What? What do you mean?
I read the whole thing out loud.
I know, but why are you mad?
Because she's trying to fight this battle without us. She is trying to keep us from something. We are trying to do something, and honestly, I don't like her father. So, for several reasons, as far as I'm concerned, my friend is doing something stupid that's going to get them hurt and probably all of their people killed, and I'm not going to be there to do anything about it because it's 2 miles away and they could already be dead for all we know. So yeah, I'm a little upset. This
This
bracelet's
is for the 5 of us, not the 6.
Shit. And I think Shen is gonna. What weapons are lying around? Is there anything fun?
There's a bunch of weapons. Upon further examination, they are all very rusted and probably replicas.
I'm gonna take a rusted dagger because I want to just shove it in Argoth's foot,
Great.
and then
Cool.
just Shen is out the door.
I think Stolio's also at the door, and he goes, "Wait, okay. Are there? I don't know if this will work or if this is even an option. Are there any like streams or small rivers nearby?"
You do, with your increased perception to this type of thing, you do hear the flow of a river nearby.
Okay. Does it seem like it goes in the direction of the village?
You only know of one river, and there is not a river near the Bright Hands village.
Damn it. No, I wanted to go to the village. Okay. Boo. What do my boots do? Boots?
Garu, are you still in the room, or did you go outside too?
Yeah, no, Garu's staying there. Yeah.
Cantha did all this to buy us time.
For us, to help
For us.
us because we helped her. So I do not understand why we do not flee here. Otherwise, her sacrifice will be in vain. We will all die. She's giving us an out. This is what heroes do, right?
She's made her choice. She made her choice to give us a chance. I feel like I'd be spitting in her face if we wasted it.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But I don't know if we'll be able to convince the others at this point.
We can try.
All right. And he'll power walk out the door. We're doing a lot of power walking.
I'll take a bite of the soup and head out.
Take that soup. +1 to health. Good soup, good soup.
There's soup there, gods damn it, and I'm gonna try it.
Soup of the gods.
Yeah.
You're able to quickly catch Solio and Shen and Sharn.
Mm-hmm.
You two, you three. Sorry, you three. I don't believe we should be going back. We need to use this chance. She has orchestrated this chance for us. She has given us help. We helped her, now she helps us.
Just for point of clarity on my side, Shen does not stop walking. Just so Shen is still full throttle forward and is kind of shouting over their shoulder. Here's the funny thing that I don't think any of you will understand, and I'm going to make this incredibly clear. I have once been mortal, and so has she. And the two of us know what it feels like to lose someone and people when you are powerless to do anything about it. If I had been more brave, there are many people in my life that would not have died, and I am not going to remember what that feels like now. So I understand that you feel like this is what heroes might do. This is her job. I get that. I understand why you would feel that way. Guess what? I have a choice too, and she doesn't get to take that from me.
And, I mean, her whole trauma is people leaving her behind, whether that's from dying or, their parents saying no. No. Dude, bro. No. Listen, if you follow that river, I'm not going to stop you. But it doesn't even feel like a choice for me. I'm just doing it.
Garu, the reason that you have songs to sing so many times is because heroes don't come back to sing them themselves.
And you're doing the same exact thing as all of those other heroes.
Great, then sing my song if I don't come back.
Enjoy your therapy. And he turns around and marches back towards the hut to kind of like gather things to go.
Yeah, but we're not just singular heroes, we're a group, Bye.
A group that is looking a gift horse in the mouth. A group that is shirking a gift from one of our equals. I don't think there's a choice here. I don't think there's a choice here. And he's just kind of like shaking his head as he goes back to the cabin.
I'm going to say, preface. I'm so sorry for what Shen is about to say, Helena.
You're good.
Shen, hearing the footsteps get quieter. Yeah, run away from your biggest mistake.
My biggest mistake was many years ago. This is nothing in my life.
Repercussions. This forest is a direct result of what you did. If she dies, I don't care how far away it is, that blood is on your hands.
And I'll sing her song.
With a bloody fiddle.
And he marches into the cabin.
I see the three of y'all heading off in the distance, and I see Garu walking back into the cabin, and my light flickers. And I follow Garu.
Just to be clear, Zara, Sharn has not followed Solio and Shen. Sharn is next to you, looking in both directions too.
Well, then before I do that, how you feeling, bud? What are you doing?
I mean, I want to help, bro, but I also want to go home. Like not and points up at the shattered city, but like, you know, I'm not home on the land. I live in the ocean.
Well, right now, you have the chance to go with your brother. You have the chance to potentially go home through that river. You know, your abilities, you probably have a pretty good shot of it, but you have to make the choice that you can live with however long we have. No one else can make that choice but you. You'll have to think fast. I put a hand on his shoulder, and my warm aura fades as I head away.
And I think in the distance, I think they're pretty, well in the distance at this point. But I think Solio does notice that Sharn isn't with him. And he slows for a few steps, but doesn't stop. And as he slows, he looks behind him. And he doesn't make any sort of expression. And then he turns back and keeps, running with Shen.
I'm rolling something. Sharn enters the hut with you, Zara Ben Garu. Two demigods are heading back to the village to try and either help or stop Cantha from what she is doing. And 3 are taking the advantage that Cantha is giving in order to try to get out of the jungle. We will find out how this turns out after our break. We will be back in about 15 minutes, and then we will be at the second half of the City of Gods finale. See you very soon.
Click, clack, roll to
All right. Let's go. Hello everyone. Welcome back.
Everyone,
So-
please picture circles with Fabio, like giant long hair, please. Thank you very much.
Let's start with Solio and Shen.
Oh boy.
It takes you about an hour to get. No, not an hour. It takes 20 minutes to walk in. Well, roll me an athletics check. Each of you.
Are we factoring in that Shen is very gay into the walking speed?
This is running speed, so no.
Damn. You said athletics?
Yeah.
I'm above average. That's a 16.
Solio.
21.
Great. So, Solio, you're speeding ahead much faster than Shen is. So actually, Solio, you arrive at the village quite a bit sooner than Shen does. So Shen, you'll catch probably a little bit later as things are happening. What you see is the darkness of the village, but it is lit up by a very bright flame, and that bright flame is Argoth's hair and beard. And you feel the heat by him. And you roll me a perception. Solio, sorry. Roll me perception.
It's a 15.
Okay, you are seeing that there are many orcs surrounding him. You see that he is breathing heavily, and you see that he is looking down at somebody, but you can't at this distance tell who he's looking at or what he's doing. But you see there seems to be a lull in something.
Okay. I don't know if I want to rush in if I'm not totally sure what's happening, because I remember that Cantha said she was going to try to talk to him. So I think I'm going to try to, is there a way I can stealthily get a better look?
Yes, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
I should have said acrobatically, get a better look.
Can I? You literally said stealthily, so my hands are tied at this point.
Ooh, that's an 18.
Okay, it's not bad. You do make some noise, which gets some whispers, but you kind of duck out of the way. You hope they didn't see you, and you're able to get into a little hut. It's actually the hut that has the second story, so you're able to peek out of the window and get a more bird's eye view of what's happening. And what you see is hold on while I turn this down. What you see is what looks to be the remnants of a battlefield. There is the bonfire that was at the center of the village has been thrown aside. You see that there are orcs kind of watching what's happening. But you also see a lot of other orcs that are on the ground, having gotten some weaponry, and you see they have searing burns on them. You feel the heat even more as you're looking, and you see Argoth in his giant form with a great flaming sword in hand, and you see him like breathing heavily. You notice, surprisingly, he looks to be a little thrown off. And you see Cantha on the opposite him, pretty much the same pose you saw the statue, except with a half torn off shield and a sword and cuts and burns all over her, but still standing determined against him. He just takes a second and goes, "Please stop this, Cantha. You don't understand what you're doing. I don't want to have to do this. You taught me. You brought me here because you knew I would do whatever it takes to protect those who cannot be protected. They would die if they tried to face you. My favorite daughter. You're really going to keep this up? Please. I can't have them take away another part of my life." And Cantha says, "Then stop what you're doing."
Just really hoping I show up soon.
I had her roll a diplomacy roll. That's a nat 20.
Roll.
All right.
Thanks for telling the story.
He goes, "Fine. What would you have me do?" Shen, you're arriving as you see Argoth clearly talking to someone. And nothing still, you see orcs surrounding, much like I described with Solio. You can't really see who he's talking to or what's happening.
Is it safe? Can I see, like, because you mentioned the wounded people, can I see them? Or
No. Solio was only able to see them. The crowd around is too packed together for you to see into the actual space.
can I make a vibe check to try to read the room?
Sure. You roll perception for a vibe check.
I keep forgetting insight is the thing here. That is a 25. I forgot how to do math for a second. 17 plus 8.
25. There's curiosity. There's concern. You're
Okay.
pretty sure someone would have popcorn if they did have it available. It is the most confused mix of emotions amongst this crowd that's observing what's happening. Some are crying, some are cheering on.
Shen is going to get the same idea that Solio did and try to sneak somewhere with a better vantage point.
Great. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
I have +0 on this, so we're just getting...
Can I help by, if I spot him, can I try to be like...
I did get a 25 on that perception.
Solio, yes, I'll allow it that you can roll an aid to up.
What do I roll?
Roll
A
your
20?
stealth, and depending on that, it'll show how much of a benefit they get.
Okay, well that's a 9.
Okay.
So.
No benefit, Shen.
Okay.
That's a 15 for me.
Okay. It is, you do notice someone kind of going, who is that? As you do, like, stumble through into the building. And you also get up to where Solio is, and you also now see the battlefield, you see Cantha, and you see Argoth, who's now kind of put his sword down. And is looking at Cantha.
Sword is down. Okay. Shen is already surprised. Angry, but surprised. But is willing to see what happens before interrupting.
Cantha pauses to say, I want you to focus on finding the rest of your children. Only 2 of us have been found so far. The others could be anywhere. We need them in order to be able to even remotely start to rebuild anything. Argoth looks at her and she goes, you know that I can't go out there. If they are somewhere here, or somewhere out there, I can't get to them. Cantha nods. And goes, then maybe... and Cantha is kind of at a loss. And
Shen is going to just kind of gently knock their head against the windowsill. And may I do a thing before you do your thing?
sure.
There's no glass on these windows. It's just like...
No, it's just an opening.
Shen is going to kind of pop up and lean over the windowsill. Bless you.
Thank you.
You could always ask for help, you know.
Solio and Shen make me fortitude saves.
Okay.
I'm good at these. I wasn't trying to get Solio hurt.
Oh yeah, no, I was just standing right next to
Yeah, just standing right next to... Sorry, buddy.
Like, no, I'm vibing right next to you. We're holding hands, actually.
Ooh,
There's a
25.
28.
Celia, what was yours?
25.
Okay. Those are successes, so you will get half this damage.
Oh, cool.
And I'm gonna cry.
Oh wow, that was low rolls too. You each take 2 fire damage, and as the burning eyes of Argoth look directly at you, and you feel like the heat that you were feeling mildly before has just been directed into your area, and so much to the point that feels like the wood that the structure is built on could catch fire at any moment.
Right, reactions aren't a thing in here. I keep forgetting that too.
Reactions are a thing.
Not in the way that I was thinking. I'm just gonna like gently put out one of the flowers on my hair that started singeing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast Flashy Disappearance and just kind of pop down from the second floor to kind of next to Kantha. Flashy
Ooh,
Disappearance.
can I do that too? Can I do that too? Except I'm gonna do a cool jump.
For anyone
Yes.
wondering, Flashy Disappearance is effectively Misty Step from 5th edition, but you create a puff of colorful smoke while I temporarily become invisible.
Great.
And you know what? It's Shen. It's glitter. It's glitter. It's all glitter. That shit's not coming out. And just appear next to Kantha. What I'm saying is that, first off, I apologize for interrupting. I was expecting a very different scene when I got here. Thank you very much, Kantha.
Oh, wait, can I say something? My jump has a purpose.
Oh, yes,
It has a purpose to try to impress with my agility skills.
Great, so roll me an acrobatics then.
Okay, I'm just looking at something. Okay. I'm gonna use my hero point.
Oh, okay.
It's important to me that this works.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's a 24.
All right. Who are you impressing?
Argoth and
Okay.
Kantha.
Great.
Shen's already impressed.
Shen, it's no effort have getting Shen impressed. Okay. Shen, continue.
Thank you, sorry.
You're good. Look. I sit in a very unique position to see families get ripped apart. I've seen it happen far more times than I care to admit. I know that you can't leave here, and I know that your siblings are gone, somewhere scattered to the wind, and your children too. What if we could help you? In whatever capacity we can. That's our purpose, isn't it? As demigods, is to help people. I want to help. I don't want to see anyone get hurt, and least of all, I don't want to see, and looks down at Kantha, I don't want to see you get hurt on our behalf anymore. And I don't want to see your people, our people, getting hurt. That's not what any of this is about. If we can bring your family back together, we might be able to do something. I know you're upset with my friend. we might be able to do something about that situation too, if we can bring your family back together, if we can find out what's going on, if we can just work together. And Lon is going to just take off his saber, just hold it out, and just drop it on the ground, then walk behind Shen, take the scythe off of their back, and lay it down. And then take the pistol out of their belt and lay it down.
And then the knife out of their boot and lay it down.
All the weapons. There's like 2. And then just stand and like put a hand on Cantha.
And Solio will say, I'm not as eloquent as Shen. And sir, you're terrifying. But I think if there's anything that the flaming god of war and, a demigod who mostly lives in the water can agree on. Solio finally looks at Cantha. He hasn't looked at Cantha yet because he's pretty sure she'll be at least a little bit mad. And goes, so your daughter kicks ass. And then he looks back up at Argoth and goes, the most ass.
Roll me diplomacy checks, both of you.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
Okay.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. 19 plus 10, that is a 29.
Yay, I rolled a 19. Straight. That way.
Would this count as helping reduce panic?
It's more trying to convince someone not to murder you outright.
Is anyone within a 10-foot radius currently frightened? This includes like other people.
I mean, maybe Solio right now, if I'm being honest. Solio, you can determine that's true.
I suppose I mean frightened in like the status condition.
No.
For all intents and purposes, I do have the no cause for alarm feature,
Great.
which does comparing a diplomacy check to the will DC of creatures in a 10-foot emanation around you who are frightened. Each of them is temporarily immune to frightened for 1 hour.
Oh yeah, no. If also just so you know, that would probably only affect you. That would probably only affect Solio and Cantha because everyone else is like keeping clear.
Well, the 3 of us are immune to being frightened for 1 hour.
Great. Awesome.
Yay.
That's kind of relevant. This is scary.
Do you know how I can be free of this jungle?
Is that a rhetorical question, or is there an actual answer? I'm not trying to be a smartass. This is just my voice.
Go ahead.
No, that was like, was there an actual answer that you're looking
There
for?
is an answer.
Well, I don't.
Would it be some sort of sacrifice?
War, burning down the jungle. That seems counterproductive. So I really don't know.
And Argoth turns to Solio. I can only be free if both of your parents are destroyed.
Both of Solio's parents?
Now, would you like to help me get out?
Well, just Are you saying that they created a prison that they can't themselves just unlock?
I don't presume to understand how Shelsra and Mordhall have decided this would work. But they have attached their life essence to keeping me in here.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, sir. I was mostly talking about helping Kantha find her siblings for you. But I can try to talk to my parents.
Finding your children is something we know we can do. 100%. We can find your family. The hard part would be speaking to Solio's parents and getting the rest of this sorted. But we can do one of those things that, as far as I'm aware, is impossible for you. And if we can do one thing that's impossible, we can do two.
With that, we're going to switch over to our other three.
I was so terrified you were about to say we're going to roll initiative.
That would have been bad.
Ooh,
I was just like, don't you fucking finish that sentence.
unclenched.
Unclench.
Oh man.
Geru and Zereb. Sharn reveals that he also hears the sound of flowing water, so he gathers there is probably a river nearby that he can help lead you all to. You would still like to make your escape while you still can.
Yeah. I'll help Gary gather whatever supplies we can find in the little hut. I'll count it out and make sure that there are supplies enough for 2 more people, if they should come back here. I guess we'll need a boat of some kind, or a raft or something.
Right.
Oh, right. You mean you don't want to swim? Swimming's great.
Not the whole way. That could be miles.
Oh, right. Oh, y'all don't swim, don't you?
Recreationally, sure,
not
but
often.
not to save my
Laps.
life.
For
Oh.
my deltoids.
You know,
Can't breathe underwater.
I've always been wanting to give like a 3-week crash course on swimming lessons. Like we could do that if we wanted to. We just have the swim be the crash course.
Maybe we focus on that after we have exited this death trap of
Oh,
a forest.
Yeah, you're right. The ocean's gonna be a lot harder.
Yeah.
We can count on that.
That's totally valid. I'm sorry, I
That
did not
that
think
crash
of that.
course would still be good.
Yeah.
At some point. Yeah. Of course.
Literally, oh my god, it will literally be crash course because the waves crash against you. Oh, that's amazing.
Gary,
You are
like,
a
is this
refreshing light in this circumstance.
He reaches for a high five to his side, sees Solio's not there. It's like, oh.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
But
do
yeah,
you know how to make a raft or a boat of some kind? I'm sure you have some sort of seafaring knowledge at this point.
I was more about breaking ships than I was making them, but I know they were usually planks of wood that were like tied together, I guess.
Okay.
Gary's gonna look around outside of the area, because if Kantha had made this soup for us, if she had made that preparation, perhaps she had also placed something that would help us escape.
Give you some light so you can look around easier.
Great.
Oh,
I guess
thank
by the river.
Makes sense. or if there's like a shed or something near the hut.
Yeah. Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Oh God, that's an 11.
You don't see anything that can be used as a raft in the immediate future, but you see a river that is flowing and moving rapidly. It is pretty wide. You can be wading against it if you want to, but it does get a little deep in the center. While Garu's doing that, Sharn is doing like his deep thinking exercises.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, okay, so this isn't exactly a raft, but I'm a good swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this, and takes out his trident, and he expands the trident. So I think I could hold on to. How good is your grip?
It is average. I would say I would say I would not put any modifiers on it.
Gorilla.
So if you
I
but
would.
let's say if you were to be in like a life or death situation where you need to hold on to your life, you could probably hold on to it while I swim really fast.
You know what? I feel like with that as the very last case resort, that could be possible. I think I could probably throw together some kind of makeshift raft, and you could be the guiding force. Like you could lead us in the water with it.
Oh yeah, I could pull the raft.
Yeah. Well, and you say you're good at breaking apart ships, so if there's like
I could break the
a
raft.
broken, well, you could break a fallen tree or some kind of tree that is nearby that you could then fashion.
We want to build the raft. Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does a tree need to be like? Yeah, I could break a tree. Yeah, I could totally do that.
Yeah. I would love to see what trees we can get together and see if I can do some crafting.
Great. It's gonna take. I'm gonna ask you.
I'll have Seraphina help as well for the physical stuff.
Great.
Zareb,
I'm gonna. Must gather 2 fish to do that. Must gather 2 fish and 3.
Well, name it Highwind.
Great. I'm gonna ask you to do a crafting check, Zareb. Garu, if you would like to aid, you're more than welcome to.
Am I back at this point to hear the plan?
Yes. At this point, you're
great.
back to hear the plan, and you can also tell them exactly where the river is.
Right. Perfect.
So you can let them know.
So do I need to roll crafting as well, or just straight d20? Okay.
Yeah, roll crafting, and we'll see.
Ooh, I would like to spend a hero point to reroll that.
Oh, I don't know if I should spend a hero point to reroll.
Yeah, Garu, yours is aid. It would just your success would add a modifier to Zareb's roll.
Right.
Well, before your modifier, that is a 16.
Okay, I rolled a 14.
You would not add a modifier at this point, Garu, if you kept that.
Okay, I'm gonna use the hero point. I want us to get out of here. Let me re-roll. Oh, that's a nat 20, baby. That's a 22.
Great. We're gonna add +3 to
Nice.
Zareb's roll to make it 19. Okay, so it takes about 2 hours getting everything together. It does look like a sturdy raft. It is a bunch of wooden planks that are kind of tied together with rope you find from the hut. And it does look like it will survive at least the river trip. Maybe not so the ocean. And Sharn is available to help push the raft as kind of like a propeller. You convince him that maybe part of that role was convincing him that maybe pulling it was not the best idea.
Yeah.
Yep. I would make sure there are at least some rope handles, just to hold on to something while we're on it.
Great. And with that, you speed off
Can
along the
I
river.
do one final thing?
Yeah.
Before we leave, Garu will kneel down at the Cantha statue and kind of whisper to it, thank you for this gift, this blessing of time. I only realized recently how very, very precious a commodity it is. Thank you, Cantha. And he'll put a hand like at her feet and then go off to the raft.
Before you leave Garu, you notice that and you feel a warmth inside, and you look back at the statue and you see an ember glowing in front of it, and you notice you're kind of glowing with that same glow until that fades and the ember remains, and the statue itself glows a little brighter. And yeah. So with that, you head back onto the raft and you start speeding away.
And my wings flared out for stability.
Ooh, you're our sail.
Very good idea.
Hopefully I'm recovered enough for that.
I'm going to turn back to those of you facing Argoth. And Argoth is staring at the two of you. And he looks at everyone here, and he seems to have an idea. And he looks at you, Solio.
Oh no.
And he goes, you know, I'm actually glad that you two came to see me. And he picks up his sword again.
Motherfucker.
And he goes, you've reminded me that I do possibly have a way out. And you could help the two people who tie me here come here of their own volition. After all, Shelsra demanded that you be brought back to life before. And he walks forward with his flaming sword.
I cast Instant Parade.
What does that do?
I need
What?
everyone to know I have been sitting on this since we leveled up.
Uh-huh.
Because I saw this spell and went, oh, I know
Oh
exactly.
no, I'm worried.
So
God.
he puts the sword on his shoulder, he takes a step forward.
No.
Shen immediately just... And an illusory parade with dozens of participants and performers appears around me, following me as I move. It's 10 feet around me, so it's kind of just all around all of us right now. Creatures can hide inside the crowd. The parade is lively and noisy, providing enough cover and distraction to hide among the crowd. Creatures can hide inside the crowd, though creatures that disbelieve the illusion still see creatures within it as normal. You are automatically hidden among the parade as it always follows you. Creatures attempting to locate you must succeed a perception check against your spell DC, though you can actively choose to hide if you prefer to use stealth instead. You can choose to send the parade off with a 2-action activity, which has the Concentrate trait. When you do so, the parade no longer follows you and instead continues traveling in the direction of your choice. The parade travels 100 feet over one round and then disappears as the spell is dismissed. You can otherwise dismiss the spell normally, if you prefer. So, Instant Parade, Solio, sorry, you're Solio, I'm Shen. Shen grabs Solio, Lon grabs Cantha. They scoop up the weapons, and I am telling the parade to stay, or at least trail like behind me-ish, and I am booking it with all of our people away.
Great. Lon's gonna have to make an athletics check to keep Cantha. To move Cantha.
What does he use for that? Oh, there it is. I got it. He's decent at this. Uh, 23.
So, Lon, you get away during this chaos and all of the fanfare that is happening, and Argoth pauses and is so focused on the illusion that he doesn't see you get away. Lon, you notice, doesn't have Cantha with him, and what you do notice is Argoth raises his sword and then smashes it down onto the parade. The parade guests scatter, but you notice that his sword has not hit the ground. Instead, what it has hit is the shield of a glowing Cantha, whose seems to have grown in height, and she shakes off, and you see her wounds knit themselves back together as she goes, "No matter what, I will not let you do anything to these people. You have grown so full of hate. You're not the person who I would call my father." and you see tears start to flow in Argoth's eyes. And he then is about to raise his sword again, and the other bright hands gather around Kantha and start to get in the way and kind of push you out of the village as they form a wall in front between you and Argoth. And everyone has like whatever they can find at the moment and are ready to defend. Solio and Shen, what do you do?
I think Lon is very much sort of keeping watch, like the rear guard. Lon is keeping the rear guard, just like making sure that he is between Shen and Solio and whatever the fuck is about to go down. But I think Shen probably pretty quickly realizes they're not being followed, and tries to duck behind some cover where we'd still be able to see kind of what's going on, just so we don't miss the cutscene that happens next.
You don't have to worry about missing the cutscene, but
Don't get me wrong, I feel like the cutscene's gonna follow us.
Yeah.
But like, I know this isn't one of those fights that we're gonna have to repeat 1,000 times, so I'm not gonna have to hear "You're never taking Kyrie's heart" again.
Mhm.
There's no way you're taking Kyrie's heart.
That was it. Lots of Disney references today, Kay. Good on us.
It's happening.
The door to
I like how it
darkness.
really is Hercules fighting Hades right now, though.
It really is.
Hey,
Just started
Hercules
going.
is my favorite Disney movie. I'm happy.
Solio's instinct is to grab Kantha and start to move, but he stops himself. And I think he looks at Kantha, up at Kantha now, and goes, "What do you want to do?"
Didn't we both go, Solio?
Yeah, sorry for clarity. Solio,
Oh, are we all going
the
away?
the crowd kind of formed a wall around you to push you out so that you were fully out of range of Argoth. So you're currently probably about 40 to 50 feet away from Kantha right now.
No.
Sorry, I didn't want you to die. So if I grabbed you and ran.
Well, it was also the group kind of pushed it. If you would like to resist getting pushed out, you're certainly allowed to, Solio.
I'm gonna do that.
Great. Go ahead and roll me
And I think-
athletics.
For what it's worth, if Solio and Kantha both don't go, then Shen will also not go.
Okay.
That's a 24.
Yeah, so you're able to keep yourself from getting pushed out. So you're still next to Kantha. So you ask, what do you want to do?
Shen's staying too.
Sorry.
No,
you're
it's
all
fine.
The Kantha looks at you and goes, "What a hero does." And she turns, and Argoth still has his sword in hand. You see some wounds across him. You see like molten tears start to go down his face. And then it turns into a fury. And he raises his his sword, and Cantha turns and goes, "Go." And she charges with her shield and bashes him to the ground, and you see him crumble onto a bunch of buildings, and you see at that moment that a full fight has started between the two of them, with the right hands cheering her on as she fights against her father.
She is such a badass.
She's the coolest.
I think this whole situation was really her character development rather than ours.
Yeah, for sure. What do we do?
She said run, but I think she's about as stubborn as Garu is, so I really don't think we're going to be able to convince her otherwise. That said, I don't want to leave.
Me neither.
Well, we can't interrupt, so we can only do one more thing. To clarify, Sam, did my parade, was it dissipated, or did the crowd just kind of
The crowd went out, got out of the way, as if they were avoiding the attack.
Right. Tell me if I can't do this, but for flavor, I'm going to just kind of illusory conductor's baton, and the parade is going to just form like I was never in marching band. My school didn't have sports or a field, so I imagine Shen just pushes the baton through the air a little bit, and the parade forms up, making those that block structure that marching bands always, like those lines that they do. And just 1, 2, 3, 4, and they start to play Sweet Victory. Just to cheer on Cantha.
You can have them cheering on Cantha. So the fight begins. Who knows how it will end? Garu and Zereb, you are getting to you are rapidly moving through this forest, and you see mountain peaks approaching as you keep your balance. The good news is that the river is flowing with you, and so you end up very rapidly going as the river continues to widen and gets progressively deeper, and you see the jungle get much less dense as it gives way to sloping hills, as it gives way to mountainous regions, and you're not quite sure how much time has passed because you've been moving so rapidly, but eventually you reach a clearing, and you arrive at a beach on the opposite side of the mountains. You feel a cool breeze as the salt air touches your face. You hear the crashing of waves, and you see the sand, the warm sand that is strangely cooler to the touch than anything in the jungle was. You don't realize how oppressive the jungle air was until you aren't in there anymore. And what you also see is a wave that looks to be in the horizon.
Oh no.
And you notice the water behind you, in front of you, is starting to recede.
Okay. How much would we know about what to do when, tidal
When
waves
that
happen?
kind of thing happens, yeah.
Because I Dexter, no, you do not stay where you are. If the water goes, don't chase it.
Nature checks for
Okay.
both of you.
Oh boy. I hope it's just Riku.
11.
Oh god. That's a 10.
You feel like you should probably, at the very least, not be at the beach where the big old wave is going to happen.
Yeah, let's
Um,
get to high ground before that hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you two make it up to high ground. And you start to see the wave very rapidly approaching. In the it's like the moonlight is kind of showing it glisten as it appears.
Okay.
Are we the high ground that we found? Is it like, are we back kind of in a like hilly mountainous area, or did we find rocks?
It's like a hilly mountainous area. It's
Okay,
like you're
gotcha.
slowly going. It's not like you have to get gear to climb up. You're just
Right.
kind of
Right.
getting natural
Slightly back
elevation. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess let's keep going higher, get a better vantage,
Yeah,
and
get as high as we can.
get away from that.
Great.
Yeah.
You get further up.
Good bucket.
And you notice some coming out of the ocean. You notice some very large crabs, like almost human size, start to come out of the waves.
Can we hide?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Look
All right.
like
We're gonna-
crab, but size
If we're
of
in like a
people.
mountainous area, perhaps we can find a cave or something
Great. Yeah.
to let them skitter across.
Great. So they don't seem to see you right now. Based on the
24
fact
for
that
me.
they're kind of covering the beach area. But you do notice the water continuing to recede as the wave gets closer and closer and closer. Roll me perception checks, both of you.
Perception is
Better. 29.
23.
As the wave gets closer and closer and closer, you notice that you're maybe see a figure. You're not exactly sure, but it looks like there is a figure in that wave.
I point that out to Sharn. Sharn, is that one of your relatives or friends?
Sharn is not next to you.
Oh shit.
Sharn! Just stage whisper, Sharn!
Sharn.
Do we see Sharn?
Do we perceive?
Yeah, Sharn seems to be relaxing on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I maybe yell at him and just be like, Sharn, just to like get his attention.
He he looks around. He's like,
He takes his AirPods out.
yeah. He's like, oh hey.
Wave?
Yeah.
Is that one of your friends or relatives?
Well, I mean, I guess, you know. Oh, you haven't seen this before. Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh, yeah. No, this is Mom when she gets really angry.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
is she okay? Great.
I mean, she must be pissed. That's a big wave.
I'm glad you're so relaxed about it. We'll
Yeah.
be somewhere else.
Oh, just get next to me, bro.
Okay. Should we do that? Sarah.
I'm no expert on the concussive force of that. But I guess it's time to have a little faith, I guess.
It worked for us with Cantha.
Yeah,
It's probably fine.
okay, fine.
We're trusting. We're full of blessings.
Yeah, may contain multitudes. Dash
It's our
down.
birthright to receive gifts when they are presented to us. Okay, yes. And Garu will walk down with Sarah.
And I see my centuries of life flash before my eyes as I put my fate in the hands of Himbo.
The wave rapidly approaches, gets faster and faster and faster, and eventually, just before it reaches you, you see a little bit of water circle around you and gently lift you up, and you see a little opening past the wave appear as you are gently fed through. And at that point, you see the full form of Shelsra inside the wave, with her long shelled hair and her enormous shell encrusted spear. And you see her in her full she has a land form and a fish form, and she is very much in the fish form, preparing to go into land as the waves crash into the mountains. And you see even her, she with one arm that is just stray bashes a hole into one of the mountains as the water continues flowing rapidly into the jungle. And the water is suddenly so calm again.
Hi. There. Garu kind of bows a little bit, just kind of like
I'm
in
sorry.
awe.
She is moving into
Oh,
the
she's
jungle.
moved past.
She's like fully.
Oh, she's going into
gone.
the jungle.
She fully went into
I
the
missed
jungle.
that.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
No, I'm
Got
sorry.
it.
I didn't explain that.
Just kind of like.
No, she just plowed right through. Wow. Okay. She's mad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's big mad. She is like colossal kaiju mad.
That
Maybe that's
probably,
a good sign.
I honestly think that is a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother is probably going to. Well, maybe she sensed Solio was in there. God rest his soul. I hope he's okay. I'm sure he's fine.
Well, if she sensed something and she did not look happy, in the slightest, maybe she's on the way to save him from some peril, or maybe they're fine and she's back up.
Well, Right. And Garu just kind of like sits down next to Solio in the sand and like
Sharn.
pulls his knees up
Sharn.
to him and just kind of
Yeah.
oh sorry, not Solio, sorry. Next Garu sits down in the sand next to Sharn and pulls his knees up like really close and just kind of like looks out at the very still ocean at this point, speechless.
I walk down towards the surf, not caring that my shoes are getting wet, and I sit with this moment and see the ocean, see the sand, see the where the people-sized crabs were. They still are there. Seeing everything that just happened and hoping that the other two are okay, and try to feel that same energy I would when I would capture a moment. But just this time it's for me, taking it in.
Moving to the battle between Cantha and Argoth. It goes on for quite a long time. And let's see how things are going.
Does the punching of the mountain, do we feel that?
This is a few moments before that.
Okay.
Okay. Cantha gets some big hits in Argoth. He is very much thrown off balance by being even closely matched in a fight. However, he seems to be getting stronger as the fight continues, and as he gets more and more hurt, to the point where eventually his flaming blade knocks off the shield that Cantha was using, and he does a giant slash that Cantha barely gets out of the way and only lightly cut, but this burning sensation does more damage as she gets like a 3rd-degree burn right across her chest. She attempts to do a counter attack, but Argoth like bashes the sword aside and kicks her down, and then she barely gets out of the way as he does a dodge, as he throws his sword down, and barely rolls out of the way. All the while, there's property destruction everywhere as these two giants are fighting, and it all continues until they are just exhausted and fighting. And Argoth readies a stance, and Cantha sees the two of you still there, and he goes to stab at her, and with her bare hands she holds on to the sword, to the blade with her hands, screaming in pain and fury at him as well. And at that moment, the earth shakes, and you hear a crash from the west, and everyone looks and sees that one of the mountains has a hole in it from far away. and you suddenly, Solio, you hear this first, but you hear the sound of rapidly rushing water.
Can I do a check to see how quickly I know that it's my mother? Or do you think I just know right away?
Nature check.
Roll for mother.
Yeah.
Comma nature.
Roll for mommy.
Mom,
Man.
Roll for
Mom.
I'm the baby.
roll for it, baby.
Can I make a baby check? We had our daddy check. We have had a mommy check. Now we need a baby check.
I become baby destroyer of worlds.
That's a 22.
No, the rapidly moving water like this after something has clearly crashed into a mountain. That's you know, funny thing, Solio. Mortals are hilarious because they think that tsunamis are naturally occurring phenomenon. But tsunamis are just when mom is angry. And it's the one time she joins in the wave herself.
Mm-hmm.
And you also know that unless you're a family member or someone she already knows is there, it is utter destruction everywhere.
Cool. Cool. Oh no. I know I probably have like almost no time, but I start yelling, higher ground, get to higher ground, climb up the rubble, whatever. Everybody, just go.
What? Get to higher. Yeah, go ahead.
And I say, hold on. Solio says, if you don't want to drown in the next minute, start getting up that rubble. And I look at Argoth and I say, you, cut it out for a second. And I go, I run to Cantha. This is so stupid. I run to Cantha because I know she's hurt. And I don't know how fast she's going to move or she knows what's going on. And I say, we're climbing. And I look over at Shen to make sure that Shen, you're...
Oh, Shen and Lon are already going.
Okay.
But they're
Great.
staying, I will say, they're at the tree closest to you and just looking at you like...
Good.
Are you...
Yes. Okay, towards them. And then I start trying to haul Cantha. I mean, I'm sure she can still climb kind of herself, but we're climbing towards you, Shen.
It is very difficult.
Yeah, she's huge.
It's very difficult for her. She is severely wounded, and she is really having trouble keeping herself standing. Argoth looks and is just trying to hasn't really figured out what's happening quite yet. And the other orcs start scrambling to get up. As you've said before, Solio, a minute is not a lot of time, and not everyone makes it out before the waves crash through. Shen.
Real quick, just as this is happening, because I see Shen and Lon see Solio desperately trying this whole thing with Cantha. They're gonna see Solio go the other way. They're gonna look at each other, have that moment of, we're having the same fucking thought, aren't we? And they are going to rush over and try to help drag Cantha up.
Great.
So we have all three of them just are within a few feet of each other, probably.
Great. As the waves crash through, there is basically, as you said, indiscriminate destruction. Trees are felled, houses are thrown apart. The houses that were less sturdily built are broken in mere seconds. Some end up being makeshift rafts for some in the tribe. And the other thing that occurs, well, two other things occur. One, Solio, a form of water goes around you and kind of brings you in, and because Shen and Kantha are with you, it kind of brings the two of them in Endlon. It brings all of you in as well and rapidly rushes you away from the village and towards the mountains. As you see your mother, Shelstra, catch a surprised Argoth off guard as she stabs into his back and he screams out in pain. And she puts a foot on her spear and kicks him out. And he looks back, and Shen and Solio, you have never seen a god scared in your life. And Argoth is terrified. And he runs, followed by the waves and followed by the god of the ocean.
Shen is going to shout after him, "We gave you a chance, you coward."
Garu and Zereb. Eventually, Solio, Shen, and Kantha float out by the river and are next to you on the beach, almost by happenstance as the sun starts to rise. And all of you are now next to each other.
Solio sits there for a second, shell-shocked, and then looks over at Shar and says, "Did you see Mom?"
Yeah, she was pissed.
Yeah. And he looks behind him and goes, "She punched that mountain?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
She
boy.
punched through it. She punctured it
The punch.
so easily.
Then I look at Kantha. Is she conscious?
She is unconscious, but does not look like she's on the verge of death.
Oh man.
Can we heal her up? I'm gonna. Well, I don't know if this will help. Nope, she's not dying. Okay, never mind. Maybe this will. Yes. And Garu will kind of scramble over to Kantha, and place his hands like on her forearm, and he speaks. He said, "Kantha gave us time to spare to exit from her father's snare. We run from death to over there, where we can continue her legend of care." And he casts Soothe. So she's gonna get some hit points back.
Great.
That's 10 hit points back. And a +2 status bonus to saves against mental effects for the next minute.
You see her ragged breathing and scattered breathing start to steady, as it looks to be not like it looks to be that she's not struggling at the very least. Her eyes are still closed, but she is not. It doesn't look like she's in danger at this moment.
Great.
Sorry for. Solia looks at Sharn and goes, talking about Shelstra. Did you call her?
No, I didn't call anyone. We just arrived and she was already coming.
So you did just run.
Whoa! Hang on. If we weren't here, we wouldn't have been able to see this happening. Wait, hold on.
Oh, yeah,
No.
so you could what? Be on the beach?
So I could probably have gotten help if I was out here, and I just got here.
Solio, that's not fair.
I don't want to hear anything from you.
Then
You know
go
what?
on.
Actually, a lot of this could have been avoided if you had stopped trying to talk to Cantha and tried listening.
I'm listening now.
I don't.
What do you have to say now that all of this
You?
is... What?
Nothing.
Okay. You had nothing smart to say anyway. Why
Oh,
would I ever
shut
listen
up,
to someone
Daryl.
like you?
Quit it. I am so tired of this pompous attitude that you have developed ever since you have become mortal. Like you think that you're better than us for some reason. I don't understand what's gotten over you. I get it. I understand. You have lived your entire life with songs and stories, and guess what? You're in one and you have forgotten which genre you are in. You're not the
What genre is that?
What genre is it now?
What genre is a life? Shen. Now that you had your therapy moment,
My
what
therapy.
change did
What
you
is
make?
your deal? Are you
My
just?
deal.
Oh, are you incapable of like having a?
My
Oh.
deal is that I trusted my friend, and he points to Cantha. I trusted her that she would do what she was made to do, what she was born to do. She gave us a gift, and to not take it, in my eyes, would feel disrespectful.
You don't
And
know
I'm so
anything
sorry.
about her because you
I-
never heard a goddamn thing she said.
Cantha
Is that
opens
true?
her eyes and
You might want to go
Sits
back to
up.
sleep for this one.
she stands up. She's now in human height. She turns to Solio and Shen and goes, "Thank you for standing by me at that time." And she turns to Zareb and Geru and says, "Thank you for giving me the strength I needed in order to face my father." I appreciate all that you all have done for me to help me get out of here. And everyone did very important things to help. Now that we're out of here and on a beach with no jungle to go back to, what do you all want to do?
Well, it definitely seems like there are some tensions to be discussed before any productive decision making can occur.
And the sun rises on 6 demigods turned mortals, having just gotten out of a harrowing jungle of war alive, standing on a beach at a crossroads. And that's where we'll end our season.
Cliffhanger!
Oh, goodness.
Dang.
We're
Thank
at
you.
a crossroads. Wait, Sarah, you're gonna have to counsel us.
Season 2
Let me
is
burr some tea.
Season 1 is introducing everyone. Season 2 is Zarob's arc.
How do we deal with this? What are we
Um,
gonna do?
Thank you, everyone, so much for joining for this finale. This, as usual, is full of surprises and twists and turns. And it's not quite over. We're going to be back in like 2 to 3 minutes. We'll do a little Q&A with the players, whoever is available. And so if you are here in the Twitch chat and you have questions for us, either for myself or for any of the players, please feel free to put them in and we will talk about it. So yes, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Talk to you all very soon. All right. Hello, everyone. It's looking like, I mean, we were going to end at 11 o'clock, and there's about 5 minutes till 11, which isn't enough time for a Q&A, despite what the webinars that I usually attend seem to think. So we are going to go straight into what's happening with Clickety Clackety. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock will be the next episode of Kindred, episode 28, run by Ben. Eberron is going to be returning on Friday, August 25th, this Friday, at long last. We're going to see what's happening with that crew now that they were caught by Karnathi's soldiers. And then this Sunday will also be the next episode of Feigning Elegance, and they are at episode 3, I believe. So that's what's coming up here. In terms of future of City of Gods, that is yet to be determined. But if you're keeping up on the Clickety Clackety Discord, you may get updates before anyone else about what is happening. But I want to thank all of the players who have participated in this show as my first time DMing on stream on a campaign. And I also just want to thank all you viewers for watching. As we went on, this has been an idea that's been percolating in my head for quite a while, and I was so glad to see it come to life, especially with this fine crew. That I think that's it. Anyone else have anything on before we head out?
Can't think of anything. Hydrate.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes, hydrate.
Thank you.
And thank
Thank
you
you,
all for
Brian.
coming.
This was my first time ever like being on like a full stream start to finish, apart from like finish it, like just kind of like hopping in every now and again to be, you know, a chaotic menace. Like I've never gotten to do something like this, and I've only ever played like one game of D&D with Sam, so this has just been like really fun for me to just be like, Oh, hi, I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm
You do it beautifully.
Thank you. I improv 90% of everything.
Gorgeous. That's the RPG part of the TTRPG.
So I just wanted to say thank you to Clickety Clackety and to wow, that's fun to say, and to Sam for just letting me hop on board.
All right.
And for
Thank
everyone
you.
else for being great to me.
Thank you, everyone. And again, thank you to Clickety Clackety for being able to roll with this idea. And for, I think, the first Pathfinder 2nd Edition stream that's been on this channel. So thank you. Season 1 might be over, but there may be a Season 2 coming up. And there's plenty more on the channel to see, which you'll see if you check out our Discord. So thank you all so much for coming, and Clickety Clackety, please come backety. Goodbye.